Alright guys, hi, it's me Arek. I thought that maybe I will give you a very brief overview of the new updates. Um, as always, you can click on help and changelog, you will see all of the new features and fixes. I will very briefly go through the features, so maybe that will be helpful for you to see what is different. First of all, dock widget window handling. What you can do now is you can double click on the widgets and they will pop out automatically. And you have now a new title bar. When you double click on the title bar again, it will dock into the main window again. If you double click on it again, it goes to floating mode. And what is new also here is you have a new icon to maximize the window. So this will be very helpful for the people who are using multi-monitor setup. All right, so next feature, um, controller API supports now direct input devices. This was really a big um, thing. It took me many days to implement it. There was an issue that some of the game controllers didn't work with the previous framework that I used, and now it should be compatible with all the Thrustmaster and Fanatec devices that were not working so far. There was to enable it, you have to select the direct input device, and then you have to select your device, and then you can map it. So keyboard is now also working. And if some of the devices still shouldn't be compatible, there is now a workaround to use some kind of maybe SimHub or other devices that can do the mapping from the game controls to the keyboard, and then you map the keyboard here. It should also work. What is good about the direct input device is that you can that it stores the unique ID of the device. So even if you unplug it and put it into another USB port, it will still work. This was not the case for the legacy mode. Same as for RBR. All right. So let's go ahead. Yeah, next one, auto saving. I think this is clear. I thought it's good to have opt-in, so you do not accidentally save your notes, and you can change the interval. I think 5 minutes is the default value. I don't know if 5 minutes is good or not. If you have auto saving, maybe it can be helpful to ignore the validation so you don't get the pop-up all the time. Otherwise, you will get the pop-up all 5 minutes that telling you that you have some warnings um, in your notes and you should fix them before you save the file. All right, and also what is now new is that the app will ask you to save the notes on app exit. You can try it out if it works. Yeah, one huge feature is the playing of the notes in the note sheet. I think this is crystal
Open
clear.
have been right. Open have been right.
It also tries to play all of the different audio notes randomly.
Turn, late. Opens, opens.
Yeah. It also supports the vanilla code drivers from RBR and all the audio codes that are in the Pacenode plugin subfolder directory. Like the Porridge mod uses some of the nodes from the vanilla code driver, and some of the nodes are inside the Pacenode plugin, so this should also work. I tested it with different code drivers, but as always, there will be some exceptions, so this will be very helpful if you could try out if it works for you. All right, now let's go ahead to the to some very nice things. Actually, I invested a lot of time into the stage map. Um, the stage map now is highly customizable, and it gives the opportunity to do everything that you can also do from the table. So as you already know, you can, oops, okay, now I was a bit confused. Let me just quickly change that. Is this the default color? I hope not. Oh, I was a bit. Oh, I think I have to fix that. I was a bit confused because all of the nodes were green and the selection color is also green, so maybe I have to fix that. Anyway, so here you have the stage map, and what you see now is the labels and the text is now scaled according to the zoom. It will help to have a better overview. And what you can do now, as I said before, you can modify the nodes and do everything as you do it from the table. You can change the distance. You can double click it and change the value. You can now also go on the line here and then you press Control and you make a double click and then you create a new node. And with that, you can very quickly position some nodes in a specific place and you don't have to do it from the table. I think it will be a very good improvement for the workflow. What you can also do now is you can press on a node and then you press Alt, and when you do a double click again, then you can jump to this position with the video. This works from the stage map. It works from the table. So just press Alt and double click. And it also works from the audio markers. So if you go on the audio markers, press Alt and double click, it will jump to the stage. Unfortunately, this is still a bug. I don't know how to fix that. You have to do it always twice. There's something I still need to figure out how it works. So basically you can jump to each position where you did the audio call. Alright, so then there is a lot of tuning here for the stage map. I'll just show it to you quickly. So you can change all of the colors. You can deactivate the crosshair now, and you can also change some zooming behavior here. Mm, for example, what you can do is you can. I have to now figure out what that all means again. Okay, show complete map after loaded stage. If you deactivate it and you load a new stage, then at the beginning it will automatically jump to the start and keep the default zoom. But if you enable it again, obviously, if you open a new stage, then you will see the whole stage. And what you can do next is you can center selected node. Now, this is important. This is new. Um, it was like this before, so you select a node and you always jump to the node. I thought this is quite irritating because sometimes you want to see all of the different nodes ahead and before the selected node, and when you always jump in the stage map, it's not so nice. So when you deactivate it, then it will jump only if the node is close to the edge of the map. So for example, if it is like this, then you can select all of the nodes. It will not jump. But if you select the node in the bottom, it will jump to the node and put it into the center of the diagram. Yeah. And of course, if the node is not in the diagram, then it will jump to the specific position. So I thought that might be a little bit better and is not very irritating. And also one update, which was really tricky, is the anchoring of the labels. Before the update, you always had this jerk when you changed some nodes or you added some nodes, then the anchoring changed also, and this was also very irritating. And now it should stay the same. It will be cached, and even if you delete or add some additional nodes, the anchoring, the position of the nodes, node labels will stay the same. And what is also new now is, as you see, the label now is also highlighted. So if you have these, yeah, that's what some people said, that you have this problem when you zoom out too much, that you cannot distinguish between both. Now it will be better because one of them is highlighted. Yeah, then another feature, the car is now shown as a arrow, so it's easier to figure out the direction. And then there are some fixes here and there, and probably there are also some bugs. Probably I just have to figure out if the default color here is the green, because this is not so good. I have to change that. And yeah, if you have some other issues, let me hear. Yeah, you can play around actually here with the styling. Maybe you want have a little bit bigger font, or you want to have the notes a little bit bigger. It will be automatically refreshed. You can play around with it. Maybe one last thing is what I also added now is when you zoom out from a certain point, the text labels will disappear completely. There is a threshold. You can check if it's good for you or not. And now when you do the full screen, you have really nice overview with the scaling of the fonts and the icons. All right, did I miss something? Let me take a look. Okay, maybe one last thing, the set to default zoom range when selecting node. I forgot this. So as I said, okay, you see here now many nodes. Yeah, and if you go outside of this, when you select a node that is outside of this view, it will zoom. It will center the node, but it will also zoom it. And if I have it like this, yeah, and I select some node here at the finish, it will zoom always to the default zoom value here. So you always have the same view. Even if you zoom out or do something like this, if you select a node, bam, it will always zoom to this node. And when you unselect it, then it will keep the zoom level. I think you get it. All right, but that's it. So let me hear if you have any troubles. There maybe will be some bugs. There is lot of things that are new. And if you have some troubles, let me hear and I will try to fix it. So thanks so much, guys, and have a good night.